What is going on, good people? We're live here, tri-state area. We got the A down there as well. Larry Ridley here, Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking esports and traditional sports on Twitch. You can find us on Mixer, YouTube, Facebook gaming as well. We're live here at twitch.tv/compete forever. Take your phone calls live today, 877-853-5247. That meeting ID, Esports Extra. That is 377-678-9872. Go ahead, hit that pound button twice to join the show. We got Coach K back there pushing all the right buttons. Big show today, guys. We're going to be talking about Horace Grant, of course. Horace Grant on Michael Jordan, called him a liar, a little snitch word in there as too. We'll get to the bottom of that. NCAA made some recommendations. Fall sports looks like they will resume. I will tell you a goat date on that. Ohio State talking about a stadium not even half full, maybe a quarter full. We'll get into the numbers on that. CJ Wilson, former Major League pitcher, almost won 100 games in the show. He'll be joining us, played a bunch of years, I believe 10, most of it with the Angels and the Rangers. Will be on the show. He'll talk about that, doing a lot of cool things now, owning a car dealership and also into the racing world. We get into that with CJ Wilson, a funny dude. We'll talk about the players' proposal, playing out with no fans. How about the A's Stadium? No rent. They didn't pay their rent. Now, before you say they're cheap, which they are, it's a bad stadium, which it is. We'll get into why they didn't pay that rent. Also, the Nats going to have a virtual ring ceremony. We'll see if we can get two-time to bring out her ring and show you what that might look like in a virtual setting for the Washington Nationals on Sunday. Ryan Fitzpatrick. I was going to say Brian Fitzpatrick. I'm thinking about my old producer on my radio show in Jackson, Mississippi. My bad. Ryan Fitzpatrick, had some positive things to say about Tua, but he also said he wants to play as well. New York's going to be open for sports. Mets, Yankees, Jets, Giants. We'll get into that as well. We'll have Rydell Joke Brito on live. He is the Madden Bowl champ. He's got the belt. We'll talk to him live. Good to catch up with a joke, Rydell Brito, to talk about winning that belt, man, which was very cool. He won it in shutout fashion on Sunday live on ESPN. We'll talk about throwing, the lack of throwing in the running attack that he had, and also the early Madden career. NBA 2K League, we'll get the update with Coach of the Brooklyn Nets. There he is, Ivan Curtis. We'll talk to him on the C4 League update as well. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the co-host, the crew. We'll start with the bros. Ivan Curtis, head coach, Brooklyn Nets gaming crew, NBA 2K League. What up, broski? Talk to me.
Hey man, I'm happy to be here. I ate a Kit Kat for lunch. So, I'm amped up. I had Seagram's ginger ale, so I'm good.
You amped up? Okay, all right. We need to get them as a sponsor. Amp, maybe. How about that?
Okay.
What's up with you down there in the A?
I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. I didn't have a Kit Kat, but I did just work out on Zoom with some Baltimore people. So shouts to my sister in Baltimore and them. So that's where we at. I'm always turned, but if OG's turn, I'm really amped. And let's start saying the word amped, sponsorship.
Yes.
If you're amped OG, I'm amped.
I like it. Okay. All right. We got OG. We got two-time down there, the Atlanta Dream. Before we get started, any news with the WNBA? You guys close? What's the latest? You're a player rep. Talk to me.
We're not close, but the WNBA is doing things. I mean, we don't know anything until we know something. That's how it goes. But the WNBA is doing stuff. So to speak on their behalf, they have the WNBPA, they have town halls and everything where we can talk to people and just kind of talk about missing sports like everyone else. So we don't know anything, but we're talking.
So it's basically a damn therapy session, basically. Right?
You took the words out of my mouth.
Fireside chats with WNBA.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, hosted by Mr. Larry Laptop.
Watch that. Don't do that. She ain't lying, though. She ain't lying. She telling the cold truth on that one. Let's get started. We'll start on the rundown. Horace Grant, some choice words with Michael Jordan the last couple of days on that docuseries. Not very happy how he was portrayed in the 10-part documentary. Look, he said it. Lie. He called Michael Jordan a liar, and Michael Jordan called him a snitch. Whose side you on, MJ or Ho Grant? We're going to go with the WNBA player, Renee Montgomery. Liar or snitch? Who telling the truth?
I think both of them got to like pipe down just a little bit. I think everybody's telling on everybody at this point. So he's like, you told on me, and you were talking about people having drugs and girls, and no, you told no everybody. Because if I'm one of the like I told y'all this before, y'all thought I was crazy. Oh, we should run the tape. I can't wait till we get big enough where I'll be like, run the tape. Because I said before, I'm like, this feels a little bit like snitching. I don't know if y'all remember that,
Nah,
but
I remember.
I
I remember.
okay, because as a teammate, I don't want y'all to know anything that I do. Like, I don't want anybody to know anything. I don't care what, like, if somebody caught it on camera accident, don't, like, I don't want no one to know anything. And y'all thought I was crazy.
No, you were telling the truth. I mean, we've all been
You
in
said
locker rooms.
snitching.
Well, I said dry snitching, but I mean,
Yeah.
but we were talking about because some of the excerpts and the Sam Smith book back in the day, the Jordan Rules. Jordan said that hey, a lot of that information came. It was too inside, insider information, and it came from Horace Grant. Get your thoughts on it, Ivan Curtis, with your boy Horace Grant, man. He said lie, lie, lie.
And watching the interview, you can feel the tone and how he still heated. Like I mean, I'm still with you, Larry. It's dry snitching. I mean, he didn't call out any names, but I did like the points that Horace brought up. A lot of things in the documentary, he called it basically a BS documentary. He even called it a somewhat documentary.
Yeah,
It
so-called documentary.
so-called because it only showed MJ's perspective and everything. He said a lot of things was cut out. He said, yeah, he did say something about him playing bad and not giving no meal, but he like you think I didn't eat? Like I mean,
I stood up for myself, damn it. Let me clear the record.
So I mean, I think Horace got some valid points, man. I can see where he's coming from. I mean, even now that I go back and think about the documentary, I mean, he did call out some good things about it in his defense. So, he like I said, they still, if they seen each other, they would speak. But he said if they didn't, he's cool with that too. So, I mean,
or he said, "Catch me outside." How about that? Because he did say, "Or we can settle it another way." I think that was in the quote somewhere. So he said, "Catch me outside." How about that?
Okay. Well, we talked about catching me outside. You got to take a side now. Pick one. Is it a lie, 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 or was Horace Grant really, was he snitching? Whose side you got?
I mean, really, after listening to the interview, I'm kind of siding with Horace a little bit. I mean, because some things. I mean, like I know everybody didn't put up with Mike's stuff, so I'm like, somebody got to be telling the truth on the other side of it.
Renee, lie, or dry snitch?
I mean, I think that it's Michael Jordan's documentary, so it's going to be told from the view of Michael Jordan. So I think that if I'm telling my truth, that's my truth. So I say it's truth to it. So I don't like I just feel like if we're making a documentary about Horace Grant, it's going to be told from Horace Grant's point of view, and it's probably going to be told in a tone that's flattering to Horace Grant. So I mean, I don't understand that. That's of course some things got cut out.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you on that. If I had to pick a side, probably take Jordan's side because look, it's his documentary. Of course, it's his point of view, and like you said, and we talked about this the first time it came out, and I said this. I said, look, as a media member, and I don't really call myself a journalist because I don't think sportscasters, for the most part, were journalists. But my take is, if it's a true documentary, there is no journalism because you don't get to tell your story. A documentary is sort of like history. No, we're gonna record it and tell the story of it. So that was interesting with that. But I'm with you on that, Renee. I think Jordan's probably it's got to be his truth. So we're gonna say it's his side of the story. But I do definitely understand Horace Grant saying, "Look here, man. Let me straighten the record here. No man can tell me I can't eat."
Yeah.
Especially when I'm 3 inches taller and probably 30, 40 pounds heavier than him. He's not going to tell me I can't eat.
He was making sure don't nobody else. He was like, y'all better not try me. He was making sure like, don't try me. Don't play me. That was his like, so I understand that too.
Right. Now, am I going to destroy my meal ticket and the whole franchise? Probably not. But would I hit him in the chest or punch him in the face real quick? Probably, yeah.
Real quick?
Or smack him one time. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
you can't beat him up or anything, but good stuff with you guys. Let's go to the NCAA, National Collegiate Athletic Association. That would be something that My good buddy right here, Renee Montgomery, knows too well the 2009 Yukon Huskies, national champs, Gino Oriema and the crew up there
Yes.
in Soares, Connecticut. How about the fall? Looks like they're going to allow them to start practicing or working out at least. June 1st is the target date. It'll be for football, men's and women's basketball. I'm glad they included a women's sport. Renee, take it away. I know you want to jump on that.
Yes, definitely. I'm glad they did because they said the three major sports came back, and if you say the three major sports, I'm glad that women's basketball is a major sport. I talk about a lot with this
I
name.
think it's probably bigger than baseball. See, I think it's probably third.
Yeah, well, with this name, image, and likeness coming up, they did this poll. Well, somebody crunched the numbers, and on the top of the list of who will benefit the most, it's a female basketball player going to, of course, my squad, Husky. Shout out to Paige Butcher, but she's going to UConn, and she's set to make the most off of this name, image, and likeness. So, one more thing to add. So, of course, they were going to allow it to happen. They said resume voluntary on-campus workouts, and I want to translate that for anybody listening. Athletes don't have a choice. Voluntary workouts mean you're gonna be at them workouts, okay? So basically, they will resume workouts. Voluntary is not a thing.
Right, right, absolutely. Your thoughts on this, Ivan Curtis? NCAA fall sports to resume, with an asterisk, but at least getting started June 1st. So we're looking at next week.
Yeah, I like it, and just piggybacking off UConn, I used to say, there's women who like to play the game, and then there's women who love to play the game, and those are the type of women who goes to UConn. So definitely,
Hey,
if it's work
oh,
if it's workouts going on, they in the
Look
gym.
at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her,
I
folks.
just, I
America, look
knew
at her.
it. I
Check
knew
her out,
it.
America.
I called you my brother right away. I knew it.
Hey, look at the UConn colors though.
We ain't even playing that.
But yeah,
Got
I'm excited about it. I mean, we point, getting into pointing in the right direction. So, I mean, I'm definitely anxious to see how everything plays out. I mean, I definitely, like I say, I mean, I hated how collegiate sports ended, especially for hoop and
Yeah.
everything like that. So, them being included in that, I'm happy about it. The one thing I did think about though, it's I know they were saying something about seniors getting a chance to, but like it's some who probably sign with agents and everything now and different things of that. So I was thinking about certain players like that, like who could have probably benefited from an extra year, but probably felt forced to have to, go into the professional ranks. And
Well,
sign
they
with agents.
they didn't include the fall sports, and basketball and football are kind of like fall sports. The spring
Yeah.
sports, they did give a reprieve to the seniors.
Okay.
Although we talked about this, the seniors, just because they say you can get that year back doesn't mean the school wants your ass back. You know what I'm saying? Because they got incoming freshmen and there's only so many scholars available.
Yeah.
Talk to them,
Definitely.
Renee. Am I lying?
No, that's true. And for the spring, just to clarify, that's because they hadn't started their season. So basically, any of the seasons that had already started,
Okay.
they got to go. And
Right.
those are the ones that it's kind of tough for because they're in this limbo. So those seniors that graduated, we've drafted people. They're not here with our city. They're no longer with their team. So they're kind of in that weird space. But for the other players, yeah, I'm sure they'll come back. But there's a limited amount of money, and with campuses not having people on campus, I'm sure enrollment will be down. So that will
Sure.
be interesting to kind of see how that plays out.
They're talking $4 billion if they do not play football this fall.
They
$4
got that
billion
long
college
money.
football. So that's where the bread is being buttered. Real quickly, Ohio State, before we talk to C.J. Wilson, the former Major League Baseball pitcher. Ohio State, they're talking about having fans this fall. We know Ohio State. I believe the stadium, that's your home state right there, Ivan, holds around
Yes, sir.
105,000, somewhere around there, over 100,000. They're talking 20,000 on the low end,
shoe.
maybe up to 50,000 at the old Horseshoe in Columbus. What do you think about that? I don't know about 50,000. That's about half full. That might be too much. Maybe 20 or 30, maybe 40 max. I don't know about 50, 60. Where do you think this stands? And do you even think they'll have fans?
I don't think they're gonna have fans, but I mean, I know from talking to everybody back home. I mean, Ohio is kind of, I mean, it's open. I mean,
Up and running,
yeah, so
ready for business.
yeah. So I mean, it's hard for me to imagine because I'm used to watching the games and everything like that, seeing a packed house, and then like only a certain amount of people in there. This doesn't even seem right. And then the other thing about it, I just always wonder that how many people would show up if they say they were having fans. I mean, because you are going to have some people that's skeptical. Then of course you're going to have some people who's not, like who wouldn't mind. Like, finally, I can go sit up close and watch a game. So I personally don't think they're going to have any fans, but I mean, they might. I mean, like I said, they've been opening back up slowly but surely. So it's a possibility, but it's hard for me to see right now.
Renee, real quickly, your thoughts on Ohio State, where you think the capacity is? 20,000, 50,000, too much?
I think if they allow 20,000 people to get in there, 20,000 people will be in there. I think if they allow 50,000 people to be in there, 50,000 people will be in there. Because, like I said, here in Georgia, people are already twerking at the club on each other. I don't think that people will have a problem using every other seat in a stadium. So I think, however,
What's up, all you
many
co-captain
people,
kittens? Larry
and
Ridley here. Join me
my
tonight.
Diddy is from Ohio, so go Buckeyes. But if they allow Buckeyes in the stadium, they will be in there.
Shout out to Diddy and Miss Snook as well. The
Hey,
Snook and Diddy show, the parents
Diddy!
of the great Renee Montgomery. Thank you guys for the birth of this beautiful child here. We appreciate it. We like having her on the show. Yes, Snook and Diddy. That's my new parents right there too. My mama and my daddy. Mama-in-law,
Community
daddy-in-law.
parents. Everybody knows that.
It takes a village to raise a child.
We're just looking for the invite to the cookout. That's
all we're looking for. We're trying to head to the family cookout.
Snook can cook.
On those country roads in West Virginia. We know about them country roads.
Yeah, Snook has a little cooking show, so yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, do we have CJ Wilson on the line? Let's go ahead and bring in CJ Wilson. Don't want to waste this time. Former Major League Baseball pitcher. We'll take your phone calls live here on esportsXTRA, 877-853-5247. Meeting ID esportsXTRA, 377-678-9872. Hit that pound button twice to join the show. CJ Wilson, how are you, kind sir? Thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm good. I'm just at my desk at work, retired life.
Hey, man, must be nice. Let's talk about retired life, if you will. I see you doing very well. I remember covering you, by the way. I worked in Boston. I'm a TV sportscaster. I covered the Red Sox for 6 years, from 2006 through 2012. So I remember when you came through with the Rangers. You're a pretty nasty lefty, man. What are you doing post-baseball career with the racing and also with the car dealerships? Congratulations on all of your endeavors.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, in order to keep your competitive spirit alive when you're used to playing 29 games a month, you have to have a job that doesn't ever quit. And the car business is pretty good for that. We have a lot of different customers. I have some good brands. I'm with Porsche, Audi, and BMW. So I still feel like I'm in the big leagues a little bit there.
What made you get into the cars, especially the car dealership and wanting to give back? And where do you have these dealerships? Texas, Arizona, where are they?
No, I'm in California. So,
okay.
Yeah, I've been here for a couple of years now. I guess 3.5 years since I retired. And the hardest thing was actually deciding that I'm not going to pitch anymore because it's something that I did for so long. But I'm still selling, so that's kind of, you get the juices going a little bit, and then I obviously get to go race and do track days and drive fast cars and stuff on the weekend. So it's still a pretty exciting life that I think a lot of people would be interested by, on its own right, but it's definitely not the same as facing Pedroia at his peak in 2009 or something like that.
Definitely 2008 when he was the AL MVP there with that other Red Sox team the year after they won the World Series in 2007. We're live here on esportsXTRA talking to former Major League Baseball pitcher CJ Wilson. Tell me about your Infinity for racing. Seems like you've done a lot with that, man. Walk us through what you're doing in the racing world, not just NASCAR or Infinity or F1. What sort of racing do you like?
Well, I've always been into the endurance racing, which is, I guess, more of a team sport. When you're a NASCAR driver, you're in the car all by yourself, and you don't really, you have a team, but it's more about the pit crew there. But as an endurance racer, you share the car with 2 or 3 different people, and so you have these races that are, 2 hours long, 10 hours long, 24 hours long, and the goal at that point is to work your way up to winning the 24 hours of Daytona or the 24 hours of Le Mans. That's the World Series for sports cars. So, you race a Porsche or a Ferrari or something like that, modified obviously heavily for racing. And you're in a race that has 50, 60 cars in it, and it's chaos, and it's awesome.
Yeah, for those who don't know about the 24 hours of at Daytona, I worked in Orlando as a sportscaster for the NBC station. Got to cover that. That's a pretty cool event. It becomes almost like a course at Daytona on the infield and the track. It's a pretty cool spectacle out there at Daytona. I recommend everyone going out there. CJ, let's go to the baseball diamond now. Tom Glavine, We all talked about the Major League Baseball proposal last week with the owners' proposal to the players. Your thoughts on what the players should do? I know Tom Glavine mentioned that, look, the players are going to have to get back on the field. They should probably take this deal. What are your thoughts on this 50-50 proposal coming from the owner's side in Major League Baseball?
Well, I don't really know the specifics of how they're determining what the 50-50 actually is, so it's hard for me to comment on the financial aspect of it. But I know as a baseball player, all the players want to play. All the players want to play. The big thing they're trying to figure out is this going to be kind of a carnival season where you have a bunch of teams that aren't used to playing against each other, working out of spring training complexes and stuff like that, and everybody's playing games at Chase Field in Phoenix, or at St. Pete in Tampa, or Miami, because that's where you have a dome and you have the logistics and places that you can actually stick people. So I've thought often long and hard about this, and I think that the players want to play. I know the owners are missing out on a lot of revenue, potentially $3 or $4 billion of ticket sales and commercial sales and stuff like that if they don't put a product in the field. So both sides have a lot to lose by not having baseball. You don't want people to have a new normal of, oh, we just don't have sports anymore. At the same time, because the logistics involved in a normal baseball season, which none of us have played anything else other than a normal 162 game season in a very long time, nobody really knows how you're going to incorporate the travel and the regionality that's going to be sort of necessary in order to get 4 or 5 teams playing against each other enough to get the critical mass of baseball games being played. I think at some point they're probably going to have to look at the playoff structure and say that it's not going to be the AL West, the NL West. It's just going to be the Southwest or the Northwest or the Southeast or something. That's the only way to me that I can conceivably see baseball normalizing to where you have a World Series champion at the end of the year, and it's going to be more like the NCAA tournament at some point, where you're just going to have a 3 or 4 teams in a couple different places all playing, and then they do a round robin tournament, and then they advance. Other than that, I don't see how you could potentially do a cross country 7-game series with multiple layers of that, with all the people that have to go get screened and everything. It's going to be very hard to put 40 players in a bubble, 6 umpires in a bubble, and make that work every day for 3 or 4 months. Right now it's going to be very hard.
Yeah, we're here live here on Esports Extra, the only live call-in esports and traditional sports show on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and Facebook. Game, we're talking to former Major League Baseball pitcher C.J. Wilson. When you look at it from a playing perspective, C.J., and of course you played in the big leagues 10 plus years there. What do you think it'll be like for the players to have no fans? Now, I know they're talking about a product that will, you'll go to the 30 Major League Baseball parks, no fans. I know the owners want that. At least they could get some money and try to recoup it with TV and signage in the stadiums. What are your thoughts on the no fans and maybe having some cardboard cutouts like we saw with KBO last week with the Korean baseball organization?
Well, the Asian market is a little bit ahead of us in certain innovations, but they've had a little bit more time to play and put this together because they had a COVID response a couple months before we did, right? They were already kind of quarantining and social distancing and wearing masks and all that stuff a long time ago. So I think in that regard, they've maybe had a little bit more time to sharpen the pencil and put the deals together. The flip side of that is how much more lucrative are the TV deals going to be, considering you have to watch it on TV now? That's something to think about, that everybody is effectively captive. And the most ironic thing is when you're watching Netflix and you have a little button pop up that says still there, like, oh man, I can't go anywhere. I'm still here, sitting on my damn couch, like I'm doing nothing, right? So if you have the really innovative part of this, and I was on the negotiating committee for a long time, but I would say, how can you get it so that the game can get even more interactive for fans on TV now? Because if you can't get hit by a foul ball and you can't drink a beer and you can't eat a pretzel and you can't eat a stale hot dog, maybe you could play some sort of trivia or like pop-up video style stuff during the game that would make it more fun. And if you capitalize on that, there's not going to be a loss in revenue for anybody, And I think that's where you have a bunch of people that are starchy old white dudes that are 70 trying to make all the decisions for a nation of 100 million sports fans, relatively speaking, that would love to play along at home. And I'm not saying gambling or anything like that. I'm saying like actual
entertainment,
and fun and entertainment. And you could produce that entertainment remotely, digitally, because you know the players, you know the stats, you can plug all this stuff in, and they can just have formulas that say, okay, when this guy comes up, we're going to put up a question that says how many home runs did he hit 2 years ago, and you have four, and and then instead of beat the streak like MLB.com has, you could have like a trivia streak, like Stump the Schwab or whatever. And I think that would rock. I would
That's
watch
actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
I'm available, right? I mean,
Like, right. Somebody should call you.
you know,
well, I was thinking also, CJ, about the KBO, how they had virtual fans. They're playing music throughout the stadium and things of that nature. So I think you're onto something. They're going to have to do something with the entertainment. We've seen the NBA get very good with the in-game product and the in-game entertainment, but they've got to do it in this COVID-19 response. Want to get your thoughts on the A's, and you played out there in the American League West against the A's. The stadium, the A's didn't pay their rent, man. What the hell is going on, CJ?
yeah. Well, I mean, the A's haven't had sellouts, for the last 20 years like the Yankees have, or the Red Sox, so that they're not going to have the capital. The other thing too is, and this is what it gets back to my previous thing about regionalization. The Bay Area as a region is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the terms of the rent are, but and I have some business interests, that I would say comparable to being a team owner in the sense that I have to pay rent to operate my dealership. So the business that I run is I have to pay a landlord to run it for the rights to do that. Otherwise, he could theoretically lock me out. I know that my incentive, the rent factor, is maybe 15 to 20% of my overall overhead on a monthly basis, which is to say that you know, it's not even close to being the biggest factor. My employee costs my employee cost is higher than my rent factor is. So I don't know how that relates to the A's. Typically, they have pretty cheap employees from a player standpoint in terms of contracts, but you have 25 guys making X amount, and then you have this whole support staff with scouts and everything else. I think what sucks is if you're a scout and you're towards the end of your career, they've announced that they're doing a 5-round draft or something like that this year.
Yes.
That they're basically they're going to be that's really the longest line in baseball is the scout. The scout is the guy that starts the player at the very, very beginning. And then a lot of times the player then goes back to being a coach or a scout. So it's like this piece of the puzzle that if you rip that thread out, it could really change baseball for the worse. And I think the teams have to be very careful to not alienate the scouts, which I think are a huge part of the fabric of the game and completely unique because of the high school, junior college, and international aspect of where the players come from. It's not like the NFL, which is you don't need scouts in the NFL. You have national television, and if the players are good, then you have highlights of them on ESPN, right? And realistically, there's very few running backs that are coming from Snowtop State, the Division III school, that are making it, that don't go to a combine and run a 4.2. If they go to a combine and he runs a 4.2, then you see him. That's it. It's like, oh damn, he's fast. Let's draft him. You know what I mean? Like, so baseball is way less predicated on physical skills and much more on fine tuning. And as a result, you're going to have scouts, then you could have more like Bo Jackson / Happy Gilmore type guys that just come out with freakish abilities that you never saw before. Or you could lose guys like Tom Glavine or guys that aren't super physically impressive as amateurs because all they do is have great control, but you need a real developed eye to see that potential in somebody that's not a Mike Trout or Giancarlo Stanton or something like that.
Man, I see, CJ, why you left baseball, man. You have a lot to offer, dude. You
Right.
didn't need the game, that's for sure, with the brain on top of your neck there. You brought up the Oakland Coliseum, and for people that don't know, I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, they had sewage that was backing up in the stadium. So the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum is a piece of crap. If I was the A's, I wouldn't pay $1.2 million in rent either. I would say, hey, we got COVID-19, we got nothing. We're not paying for this crap. So
Force majeure.
Force majeure.
Yeah,
that's what we have in all sports. Go ahead, CJ.
We've all encountered this, right? Where you have these insurance policies that are supposed to protect you for things. The question is, does the owner of the stadium, is he hurting? Like, are they hurting? They've been just doing nothing but collecting rent for years. So I'm sure they're sitting on a pile of cash, probably to the point that they've paid that stadium off 2 or 3 times over. So I think the A's are probably in a worse cash cash position than the owner of the stadium, I guess is the way I would say it.
Yeah, good
In terms
point.
of needing that $1 million. I'd
Yeah.
rather have the A's have their scouts and continue to keep those guys rather than pay rent for, a stadium that they keep talking about ditching or demolishing or something like that. Because I mean, the A's fans are good fans. I hated playing there because of a lot of reasons, but one of those was like the facilities were nowhere near as nice as the ones like San Fran because they're just not as new. It's
Right.
just binary. Nobody can get offended by that. Okay, people are going to get offended by that, but people shouldn't because
It's
at
true.
the end of the day, yeah, like Yankee Stadium is nicer than Fenway Park, but Fenway Park has a charm to it that makes it fun to play there. Now, Oakland doesn't necessarily have that charm.
They don't have charm or it's not nice.
So it's kind of a double whammy, right? But the thing is that, if you're playing in the big leagues, it's a privilege, it's a treat, you're happy. But you also want to play in baller stadiums when, 80% of the stadiums are baller. St. Louis, Philly, New York, Seattle. Those places are all way better than Kansas City, Toronto, some of these other places that just aren't as, I don't know, amenities rich or whatever you want to call it. So
Yeah. Lastly, CJ, wanted to get your thoughts on the Nationals. They're going to celebrate and get their rings this weekend. It will be a virtual ceremony. If you were a player, I guess it doesn't matter as long as you get your ring. That's really all that counts, man. What are your thoughts on this virtual ceremony this weekend for the Nats?
Listen, when Howie Kendrick hit the home run to effectively win the send the Nationals to the World Series and then win the World Series, because he hit 2 home runs, and one off Kelly and one off the Astros. I was over the moon. I was doing backflips because Howie, one of my favorite baseball players. I was a teammate of his for a long time.
With the Angels, right?
Yeah, with the Angels. I'm super proud of the Nationals. They did a great job. They were super entertaining to watch. In my opinion, they did everything right. The starting pitching was incredible. Max Scherzer, Strasburg, those guys were awesome to watch. And I was rooting for them and pulling for them. So that being said, I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool to get a ring ceremony in front of the fans or whatever. But at the end of the day, they got their parade, they did their ticker tape thing, and they won the damn World Series. So
Right.
We weren't able to celebrate a third time or whatever because they won on the field. Then they had the celebration in DC. Like that they did the whole fan tour there and the ticker tape parade or whatever. So I think they're okay with 2 out of the 3. They got the ring. That's the most important thing. You know what I mean?
What did Meatloaf say? 2 out of 3 ain't bad, or something like that, right? Hey, we got WNBA 2-time champion Renee Montgomery co-hosting with me today. Got any questions for CJ before we leave?
I do. So 129 games in a season. What is the locker room like halfway through the season? Like, are you guys just walking in like, what's up, man? Like, I can't, because our locker rooms are like super turned. We got 30 games, but like, how is the vibe in the locker rooms?
Well, like I said, we have nice stuff, but you're there a lot. You spend a lot of time with people because you're playing so many games in a row. You're playing, effectively 13 games every 2 weeks. If you kind of multiply it out, that's about the average.
That is unreal.
2 games in 180 days, and that's the stat we always like to tell people to make everybody feel bad because you should really pity the baseball players. They have it so bad.
Yeah, because they got guaranteed contracts, the best union, and everything.
Yeah. Like we have it good. Like if you're a baseball player and you're complaining, you're basically just bitching out. That's all I'm saying. So what I would say is the reality of baseball season is you're there at the stadium a long time. So you get there at about 1:00, and you go over your video and you eat a snack, you work out, you get some treatment, stuff like that. The game's at 7, practice is at 4, so you have a lot of downtime and in between practice and the game and everything like that. And that's actually cool in a lot of stadiums because they have rooms where you can decompress, or the amenities are pretty wide. And it's really nice when you're one of the veteran players because then you can tell people to move. You're like, no, I'm going to watch TV and I'm going to watch the channel. So
I like that. I'm going on year 12, so I definitely have that power that I never use.
Yeah. Now the baseball clubhouse is nice. When I was in Boston, David Ortiz or Pedroia or Manny or Ramirez, they had the nice lockers, a Papelbon. They got the biggest lockers in the corner. Yeah, they pretty much control that clubhouse. So he's absolutely right with that. Ivan, got any questions for CJ before we get out of here?
No, I mean, I just like the insight that he gave about making watching sports more interactive and more entertaining to watch. I mean, since that's more than likely how we're going to be viewing a lot of sporting events. So I just thought that his insight was great, and I hope it's utilized somewhere down the road.
Absolutely. Well, CJ, man, we really appreciate it, man. You are our character, dude, and congratulations on all the success that you have with the car dealership and the racing, man. You are a great ambassador for baseball, man, and a pretty cool, damn good guy too, as well. Thank you, CJ, for joining us, brother.
For having me on. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. That is CJ Wilson,
The
former
MLB
Major
needs to
League.
call CJ. CJ
Man, they
knows what
do.
he's doing.
He's
The
got
MLB
all the
better call
answers.
him. Yeah.
Good stuff, CJ. Thank you very much. Have a good night, man. So that is CJ Wilson, former Major League Baseball pitcher. Almost 100 wins in Major League Baseball. That's nothing to sneeze at, man. Pretty good lefty.
Definitely.
Won 16, 17, 18 games in Major League Baseball. I mean, that's why he got that. I think he almost had a $100 million contract. I believe it was like $75, $80 million his last deal. So, I mean, he was a quality number
CJ's
3
doing
type
all
starter.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing all right. Look, when you can buy a car dealership,
A
plural,
high-end luxury one. He said, "I'm still in the big leagues. Don't get it twisted."
Hey,
Listen, woo, I didn't want to interrupt, but I was like, "Talk your talk, CJ."
and he's a character on top of that. Let's keep it moving because we got Joke Rydell Brito calling in the reigning Madden Bowl champ. You'll be calling in here in about 8 minutes. We'll take your phone calls as well. Get some of these Madden players as well from the C4 Madden Season 51, the league tonight. Your phone calls 877-853-5247 is at the bottom of your screen. Meeting ID esportsXTRA. That's 377-678-9872. Hit that pound button twice. That's twice for 2 time. Renee Montgomery down there in the A. Let's move on. Ryan Fitzpatrick had some really nice things to say about Tua Tagovailoa. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 37 years of age, the man from Harvard, has been in the league a long time. Won 5. I think it was 5-8 last year. I think he started 13 games. And they started 0 and whatever. He came on the last 13 games. Look, 5-8, beat the Patriots to knock them out of home field as the number 2 seed that last week. So 5-8 with that Dolphin squad last year. That's a miracle worker. Now he says, look, he supports Tua. He's going to do everything he can, and he's grateful for him, and he wants to see him succeed. He also wants to play. What are your thoughts on Ryan Fitzpatrick coming out saying he's a good guy? I want to support him, but damn it, I want to play at least right now. Renee, we'll start with you.
Yeah, he said that like the perfect politically correct answer.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't get any better than that. And the real answer is, yeah, he's cool and all. I'm still your starting quarterback. So that's kind of like the vibe. Like,
Don't
of
take it
course,
from me yet now.
yeah, he's like, look, I'm still here. Okay, I'm still breathing. It's still a fight. So, as you would expect, there's not going to be anybody playing at that level that's going to be like, yes, here, take my spot. Let me teach you how. Like, he wants to still play. Okay, there's not going to be any player that's just going to be like, here, have it.
Yeah. OG, your thoughts on the comments of Fitzmagic, as they like to say, all over the damn NFL, because he's played for Houston, Buffalo, Titans, Jets, you name it. Now he's with the Dolphins. I guess I'm probably missing some teams as well.
But it's just kind of like what Renee said. Nobody wants to train their replacement, so it's like, I mean, but at the same time, I think, I mean, he's used to being in kind of both roles. So I mean, he's been a backup a lot. He's been a starter. I mean, and I think they're gonna take their time with him, and I think allow him to get acclimated. I mean, I don't think they're in a situation where it's got to be a must win now. I mean, of course they want to improve and get better, but
He did sell a lot of jerseys.
He's still number one.
He sold
Still
a
number
lot of
yeah.
jerseys. And
We
we
talked
gotta
about that last week.
understand
Yeah.
that sports is a business. I know people that's hard for people, but sports is a business.
I'm
So
saying, well, I'm mainly talking about like far as making sure he's healthy. Now, I think if he's healthy, he's on the field. Like, I mean, Fitzpatrick, I mean, he can talk. I'm his biggest cheerleader, and this.
yeah,
and
he
that.
said I'm his biggest fan.
But it's gonna be a different story when you're on the sideline. I mean,
Oh yeah, his coach would be like, if you're his biggest fan, clap for him while he's throwing the touchdown.
Hey, hold up the board.
We'll see. Go ahead, OG.
Well, no, I think I mean, bringing in the business aspect of it and the excitement and the wow factor. I mean, Tua gonna give him a run for his money, and I think if it's even close, Fitzpatrick can be backing him up.
I guess the question is not if, but when. So I guess we'll do this.
Yeah,
We'll play
definitely.
when. Do we say starting the season? I think Ryan Fitzpatrick will start the season. The question is,
It's his
when
job to
will
lose.
Tua take over? I'm going to say probably week 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there.
And
If
does
it
that
gets
matter
to
for?
half point of the season, that means the Dolphins are playing well. So
That's
it's
what I
got
was
to be
gonna say.
before the halfway point of the season. So we'll see. What do you think?
Well, I think so Ryan Fitzpatrick, he won all the games like that he started, correct?
He won 5. He won all 5 of the games
The
that they
last
won
5.
last year. He was 5-8 as a starter, and with the Miami Dolphins, that's like going 13-3, damn near.
Yeah, so I in that aspect, it's his job to lose. So we're not saying that it's his job to lose, but when you have, it's called applying pressure. If you're selling the most jerseys in the NFL, that's applied pressure. There's going to be fans in the stands with the Tua jerseys on, and they're going to want to see Tua. They might have a Tua, like you don't know what's going to happen. So that's an applied pressure that Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to feel that until the win happens.
OG, who starts week 1, and how long will that starter, if it's Fitzmagic, how long will he last?
I think Fitzpatrick starts week 1, and I'm like you, somewhere around the 4 or 5 game range.
Oh, they might not even get that far. It might be
I was
2 or
about to
3.
say. I mean, you don't want it to get too far out of hand. And Renee just made a great point. I mean, let's say we do have fans, and obviously, most of the stadium are going to be rocking to a jersey. So it's definitely they're going to be anticipating him playing and getting on the field. I mean, so that applying pressure is not only to Fitzpatrick, but that's to the coaching staff and management and everybody. So
the manager's going to be like, are you sure that Fitzpatrick can start? Like that's how it's going to be like, okay, coach, if you say
so. Right.
Oh, man, good point there. We'll see what happens to the Dolphins, with the crazy fight song down there. And, as they like to say, fins up, baby, fins up down in the MIA. Let's move back up here to the tri-state area where 2 of the 3 of us are located. I'm in North Jersey and Jersey across the Hudson River from Manhattan, and he's in Manhattan in lower, what are you, the east side? Lower east?
East Village.
East Village. I mean, where's that on the map for people that don't know?
I think that is
lower east.
Lower east side. I think it's
Okay.
lower east side.
Okay.
I mean, I'm fairly new, but I'm comfortable. But I'm fairly new to the area. So
I bet you are comfortable moving on up on the east side like the Jeffersons.
I bet you're
you better be comfortable.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
Where Brooklyn at? The governor, your governor of the state of New York, Andrew Cuomo, announced that. Gotta love him. Hey, doing a great job.
I love the Kumos. I'm glad you said that. I will have no Kumo slander on this show.
Hey, I know Biden promised to get a woman as vice president. He gotta, he's got to stick with that promise. But hey, if you put a Cuomo on the ticket, you probably just clutched it, dog. I'm just saying. But we'll see about that. But he's got to stick to his word. He's got to have a woman. I think an African American woman would really help because that's what he really needs as well. So we'll see what he does with that. But New York open for sports. It looks like probably starting next month, but with no fans. We talked about this for weeks leading up to this. Looks like it's going to happen now. Your thoughts? You behind this? I'm sure, right? OG, we'll start with you since you're Mr. NBA 2K.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of. I felt like he was. I mean, he was speaking for me when he was talking about it. I mean, he was saying he was thinking it's for the best interest of the state of New York. I mean,
and just for the psyche and the morale of everybody. At least let us have something to watch on TV, right?
He said hockey, basketball, baseball, football, whoever can reopen, ready, willing, and able partners.
He said, "Start your engines."
I've mentioned I'm a willing partner to a lot of sponsors. You know what that basically saying? I'm whoring myself out. Give me whatever you got. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Nah, I was with him. Go ahead, Renee.
No, and I was going to say, I mean, it's going to happen. So we all know it's going to happen. So he's basically just saying it's going to happen, but he didn't say no. He's encouraging no fans. So it's not set in stone. I think that would be the way to go. But again, we keep on seeing this $4 billion loss, 260,000 per game. Like, we see these numbers. So obviously there's going to be a lot of planning, even if it's because I'm curious, if a season starts with no fans, does that mean that it's going to end with no fans? Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's a thing. So I feel like if they're saying encouraging no fans right now, if things change for the better in the economy, maybe they're going to add, for health wise, maybe they'll add fans. I don't know, but sports are going to come back. Like, it's inevitable.
No, it's going to happen. Coach K, let me know if when Joke calls in, he'll be calling in any moment. Now let me know. Give me the thumbs up once he dials in. We're going to talk to the Madden Bowl champ. OG, your thoughts on this? Um, if you're the NFL or any sport coming back, would it just be safe just to say no fans for this season? That way you don't maybe potentially bring in the fans and then take them back out. How would you handle this if you were an owner and you know have those deep pockets? What you do, you could damn near probably own a minor league team right now with your money.
Woo, OG got that long money.
Hey, I just with the experiences that I've been going through. But anyway,
we're gonna get to some of that.
it's I think it's a safe call to start out with that, and then see how everything opens up after the fact. I mean, I think if we can get sports started back without fans in the stadium, I mean, it's already kind of like a win at that point. I mean, we just want to see how that goes, and then what we can add to it or what we can build on moving forward. So, like I said, I think it's a win if we can get started back without fans. It's definitely. I'm still like with CJ. I just like the point that he made. Like in watching TV, like we gotta make it more interactive since we won't be able to have that in the arena or in the stadium feeling of watching our respective sport that we like. So I think the no fans initially is a great call, but I'm like Renee. I even thought when Renee mentioned it, like, is that how we're going to end if we start that way? That's a good call to me. Good
Renee,
question.
should they? I
And
mean, if they start with no fans and then they add fans,
I'm still like
how worried are
CJ. I
you
just like
with
the
the
point
back
that
and
he
forth
made.
as a
Like in
current
watching TV,
player, the
like
only
we
one on
gotta
this panel?
make it
Can
more
you? I mean, I'm
interactive
sure you can play
since we
without fans,
won't
but
be
just
able
talk
to
about that
have that
dynamic.
in the arena
no
or in the
fans is kind of a
stadium
no-brainer
feeling
right now.
of
Like
watching
for
our
instance, in the
respective
MLB, they're losing
sport that we
six
like.
hundred and forty
So
thousand
I
dollars
think the
per
no
game.
fans
That's per
initially is a
game.
great
So
call, but
if a season
I'm
is
like
however long,
Renee.
I just know that somebody that's at the top, that hit every game is going to hit hard. So they're going to be looking for ways to move them in. I think that no
But
fans should just be
I,
the
I'm
thing. And
like
like
Renee.
OG said, I on Alexa, so Amazon, shouts to Amazon, they are having games on there. When I'm sitting in bed about to fall asleep, it says, "Do you want to play the either or game?" And I'm like, let's play the either or game. Alexa, play the. So to his point, interactive things work, and that would be really innovative. Netflix is already doing it on the show Black Mirror, so there's something to it that you can do with the remote. So it's doable. They should do it.
Good old Black Mirror.
Yeah. So, last question. I mean, how craved are you for sports? Like, dude, we had an an all staff meeting today at SNY. Just give it to me, dude. Like I said, I'll watch anything. I really will, dude.
NASCAR.
Dive. What do they call it? Coach K. Dive. What is it? Throw dive dropping or a dive something. I can't remember what the hell it is, but I
I don't
will
even know
watch
what
it.
you're trying to say. Like,
Yeah,
what are
what
you
is Coach
saying?
K knows it. Open your daggone mic, man, and talk. What is it? It's dive what? Talk to me.
Deaf diving.
Deaf.
Death
No,
diving.
deaf, not deaf, but deaf
Deaf
diving.
diving. Yes.
That's diving.
Yes, deaf diving. Yeah, they had the women do it for the first time a few weeks ago. It was on ESPN. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm thirsty, but
Not that thirsty, but that's the thing though. That goes back to the NASCAR numbers. So NASCAR's numbers were off the charts. I still stand by the world's strongest man and woman competition. We need you right now. Are you down to listen to me?
I, I mean, how much are you looking forward to sports? How much are you craving sports right now, Renee?
So for me, I'm craving sports. Like I miss, like even though I play in WA, I really miss the NBA. Like I'm sad because usually the start of our training camp into the beginning of our season means that's NBA playoff time. That means after training camp, I'm coming home and looking at the big games. So yes, I miss sports. I miss playing sports. I am an athlete too. So it's a different feeling. Um, out here in Atlanta, we need to get a better fan base. So we're prepared to play without a lot of fans. It felt like we were swallowed in State Farm Arena because we didn't have a huge following. So I think I'll survive with no fans in the stands.
Yeah.
I'm sorry because here in New York, you know, with the Liberty, we had the number one pick. Got a lot of good. I think we got a nice team. I got a
Yeah,
chance
you
to meet
got
a few. I was talking trash to Ariel Powers at a
Yeah.
gaming event. I
Yeah.
was looking forward to her coming to New York so I can heckle on the side. I like so. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and now I mean it's an interesting situation because I want to see if when the NBA returns, like what the Nets gonna look like, and like who may, like what they're gonna do. So, I mean, I'm
And that's
thirsty
another
for it.
thing. So the longer that this goes, especially for the NBA, like they're in the middle of their season. That's like I spoke about this before, but that's a completely different feeling. So I haven't started my season yet, so I have no like emotional connection to it yet. I don't like what if you ended on a terrible game? Like this
Mhm.
is what I just think about as an athlete. All of a sudden we end on like the last game before the quarantine, everything shuts
Yeah.
down. I went 2 for 17 and I turned the ball over 6 times.
Right.
I would be pressed.
That's
Okay.
that
I'd
would
be
be a
like,
Renee problem. So
I'd
what?
have
We're
been like,
fans. We're consumers.
open
We want
this
our
up.
product.
Yeah. So I would be like, nah, open this back up. I got to get back out there. So I know for some of those players, and some players are playing great and had
Okay.
a streak and a rhythm going, and now they might not be hot when they come back. So
Sure.
that's a very difficult situation for the NBA.
All right, we'll take your phone calls live here on Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking esports and traditional sports on Twitch, Mixer, uh, for Mixer, YouTube. I'm sorry, guys, I'm getting a lot of text in here. I think we got Joke on the line here. We're gonna try to bring in Joke. 6817, Coach K, 6817. Let's bring in Joke right now. And folks, he needs no introduction. He is the Madden Bowl champ. Rydell Joke Brito. How does that sound some 4 or 5 days later, bro?
It sounds really good now because I got the belt. So now it's kind of finally hit me. Until I actually had the belt, it still didn't feel like I had won it. So now it feels really good because I get to sleep with the belt. I get to look at the belt. I get to do everything. So it feels good.
Hey, how did you get the belt? Now, we saw that, Derwin James had the belt during the presentation. How quickly were you able to get it? I saw that you have the pictures on Twitter from West New York, or at least the Jersey side, looking at Manhattan. What was that process like getting the belts from EA and Derwin?
So before yesterday, I got an email from EA, the guy who handles like the league op stuff, and basically he asked me if my address was correct. I gave him my address, and then I'm assuming the next day shipped it because I got it the day after they sent me that email. And I got it in a really big box with a bunch of bubble wrap, and I also got the exclusive New Era Madden Bowl champion hat. I'm the only person in the world with it, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
Talk your talk. I like that.
Yes, sir. Man, just walk us through it, man. I mean, what a hell of a run you had. Quarterfinals, knocked out Drenny. Semifinals, knocked out Pavon, and of course, in the final, you beat D. Croft. That's a hell of a run, dude. You earned it, man. Talk about your run through the Madden Bowl, man.
So it was kind of like a revenge tour, honestly, because I lost to Drini in the Final Four club, and so me and Drini played for $35,000 in club. He beat me 21-20, and then I lost to Pavin last year in the Final 8 of clubs, where the difference of prize money was $20,000. So I got to play Drini in the Final 8, and then Pavin in the Final 4. And then I actually got to play the person who I was preparing the most with. Me and D. Croft must have played maybe 15 games before the Madden Bowl. He was the only person I played outside of E&B. So it was pretty cool to get to play somebody that I was actually labbing with before the tournament.
Oh, that's a great point. I was just going to ask you, did you have some insight, the old intel? How much did the labbing help you, knowing that you played the guy, D. Croft, in the final?
It actually helped me a ton because a lot of people were uncomfortable against this style of offense because what he ran wasn't, the typical offense what people normally run. So since I played him so much, I kind of knew what adjustments kind of slowed him down. I knew how to also, when he motioned over from, his formation, it wouldn't let your cornerbacks go into the typical zones. You had to put your guy in a curl flat and then shade down and shade up just to get him back in a cloud flat. And it was just little things like that I knew that other people didn't know because I was able to play D. Croft a lot. So I felt really comfortable against the offense he was going to run.
Oh, good
This
there,
sounds
man.
real familiar. Like when Mike invited everybody to the Space Jam set and
yeah.
and studied all of them and then beat them the next year. So I like that. I like that, Joke.
Joke, that's a two-time WNBA champ. Go ahead, Joke.
No, yeah, I was fortunate to be able to play him a lot because had I not been able to play him that much, I wouldn't have felt as comfortable as I did versus that offense. So it definitely helped me that I got to play him as much as I did.
You're watching Esports Extra live call-in sports show, talking esports and traditional sports here on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and Facebook Game. We'll take your phone calls live, 877-853-5247, meeting ID esportsXTRA. That's 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. We got 3 or 4 people on the line. We're going to get to you after we get through talking with Joke, the reigning Madden Bowl champ, just won it, playing on ESPN this past weekend. Joke, what was it like playing on national TV, dude? And how much press and how much did family members watch you and were able to see you do your thing, man, live on TV?
So this is the second time I was able to play live on TV. The first time I was able to play, I actually lost to Skimbo. And hold on, let me close my window because I have the background noise going crazy.
That's okay.
Get it right, Joke.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it felt good to be able to win. Honestly, like when I was in that position before, I was thinking a lot about like, oh my God, I'm playing on ESPN, and like what am I gonna do if I lose by a lot? Honestly, at this time, like I was really just focused on the game that I had to play. I knew that I had to play, win one more game, and I could finally call myself a champion. So I was really laser focused. I wasn't really thinking about anything else other than like, what can I do to win this game of Madden? And I had all of my family was watching. I had my dad watching from Florida, my little sister from Florida, my uncle from Florida. My mom was watching in the room next door. My brother was watching from his apartment upstairs. So I did have a lot of family watching it. I had a lot of family, friends, and then, of course, all the, the guys I prepared with and all the guys from E&B as well.
All right, that's that good energy there. I wanted to ask you this. They've been talking about it. Saw it on ESPN. I saw it was pretty cool to see on ESPN.com, and you get in that front page, man, and it says, Joke, a winner. We saw Phil Yates, who I worked with and covered, worked together and did some stuff in Boston when he was covering the Patriots, now at ESPN. They did mention, though, on Yahoo as well that, look, we all know you didn't throw any passes. What sort of feedback are you hearing from that? My theory is, look, you take advantage of the AI. Whatever the game gives you, that's what you play with. It's not your fault you didn't have to throw any passes. What sort of feedback have you gotten from that? The way you won?
Yeah, that's the same way. Like at the end of the day, when you're playing a video game, you have to use the strategy that gives you the best chance to win. And I feel like going into the tournament without an actual quarterback, using a punter at quarterback, using a low-rated Eli Manning, gave me the best chance to win, and that's what I went with. At the end of the day, if you're winning, people can't really tell you anything. So I just took that approach. I thought it was the best optimal
strategy. Renee, by the way, Renee, WNBA champion 2 times. She loves you, by the way, Joke. She loves the confidence of the way that you played and you. And
I don't think it's a coincidence that he won. I'm trying to tell people this is not a coincidence. He was winning their confidence. He's talking his talk. He walked his walk. He got the belt down. They sent it. He said he got the bubble wrap. Talk your talk.
I'm trying.
So one last question before we let you get out of here, man. We thank you for joining us, man. I know you're taking time away from family. We really appreciate that. Just talk about your early, I guess, struggles, right? 11 times, finally got the belt. We've seen you. I've seen you at a bunch of events that I participated in, a bunch of C4 events, other events as well. Just talk about your early stages in your career, the rise, and some of the heartbreak, and how it prepared you for this moment.
So yeah, I lost a lot of big games, and a lot of the games I lost early, instead Madden 17, maybe even Madden 18. I used to get mad at the game, and I would kind of just get tilted, as people would say, and kind of just blow up and not play my best game. And that was honestly something I had to work on. And like the composure, staying mentally focused. That's something I had to work on when I was playing games online. Where it was one tournament where I got really unlucky, and I didn't play my best game, and it was because I got so unlucky where I wasn't even really like thinking. I was just so mad at the game that I was just playing. And, after that tournament, I told myself, like, all right, I got to get the mental aspect, down, because I'm losing a lot of games because I'm not mentally staying focused. So that was something I started practicing at home was, when things went against you, I just was trying to not get mad at the game and kind of just having like a next play mentality. And I got really, I got a lot better at that. And there was a lot of plays this tournament, like especially against Drini. There was a lot of plays where I could have, picked them off, and I didn't. And usually I would have let that, lose me the game. And I feel like that's something I got much better at. And now it's just like, okay, I didn't get that pick, but there's still the game, and I just keep fighting until there's no time left on the clock. And I think that's really helped me become more successful in Madden.
Very
all right,
point,
Joke.
Man.
That we call that in sports a short-term memory. So good for you. Y'all out here with the sports mentality. Okay.
Yeah. Playing for money. That's how it's got to be.
I like it.
Hey, Joke, we really appreciate it, man. We showed pictures while you were talking, man, of your rise, playing in a bunch of different tournaments, Madden 17, 18, majors, Compete Forever, any other regional or any other sanctioned tournaments, man. You did your thing. You are a champion. You've won plenty of events that I participated in, plenty of Compete Forever events and other events. It's your moment. You deserved it. You labbed up, man, and you took the bull by the horn. No one can take this away from you. You are the Madden 20 champion, the Madden 20 Bowl champion. So congratulations, man, and good luck in the future. Thank you for joining us, bro.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, that's good stuff. That is Rydell Joke Brito, aka Joke, the Madden Bowl winner. That pretty belt, man. Those belts look just as good, if not better, as the damn heavyweight championship belts in
Like
boxing and
that's
the UFC.
nice.
Right.
Goodness.
Hey, my thing was like, I don't care how people criticize the way he won. I mean, you know, you set out, you have a game plan, you execute it, and you walk on with the dub. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only thing that matters. I mean, you don't have to, if you play or do anything how people want you to do it, most of the time you're gonna walk away with the L. So you gotta get it done your way, and that's what I liked about it. I mean, he approached it how he wanted, and it came out on top. So I mean,
He's unapologetic as he should be. And if I'm a team and we shoot all threes and we win, I don't want to hear nothing about it.
Can't get mad away Golden State.
I don't want to hear nothing about it. We're winning.
Yeah. I guess I will say, play devil's advocate for the people that are complaining. My thing is just pick a side. Like, you can't complain about the AI and then complain about, hey, this is not real football or traditional football. That was the problem that I had personally, people complaining about both. Pick a side. My thing is, you take advantage of the AI. It's not real football, so it is what it is. It's it's a carbon copy of it, an electronic version of it. And in this version, this iteration of Madden, running was the deal. We saw that. We did the first Madden 20 tournament back in August at Foxwoods, and Ezekiel Elliott was just, it was like a force field. It wasn't a stiff arm. It was literally, he stuck it out. Everybody fell down. It was like he gave him the force. It was crazy. Of course, they fixed it and put some,
but you
they
do whatever.
They nerfed it and things of that nature.
Yeah,
They
you
buffed
do
it as well.
basically, and I'm sure OG can attest to this. These players on an elite level, when they know the rules, they will toe the line, and basically kind of push the envelope in terms of like the rules, kind of like New England Patriots. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, watch it. Watch it. You
What
play
I
to
would-
win the game, damn it, and that's what they're doing. So you can't knock it.
What I was gonna say, like in my respective esport, I mean, everybody has an opportunity to play.
Quickly, we're gonna get to these calls. Go ahead, Coach.
Okay, to play with builds and everything like that. So it's about who does it the best. Like, I mean, simple as that.
Everybody has access to the same game.
Exactly.
He did a great job. Now, look, it's a different mode. It's not red.
If you can't beat him, join
he drafted
him.
well. Yeah, well, he drafted well. He won with the punter as his quarterback, Renee. What did that tell you? He did a great job of putting great players on the offense, the defense. All of those guys had special abilities, and he won with the freaking punter as the quarterbback. So he didn't even have to throw the ball.
That's crazy.
He can't throw the ball. And for him to still win, that's on you guys for allowing that to happen. Let's go to the phone lines, 877-853-5247, meeting ID esportsXTRA, 377-678-9872, pound button twice to join the show. Let's bring someone in. Let's talk to some guys from the Compete Forever League, and then we'll go NBA 2K and get Ivan Curtis's thoughts. So we got you got James Piano with the Eagles doing well in the NFC. We talked to AFC guys yesterday. Today, NFC guys. In the West, we're going to go with Indefinite Champ with the Rams. In the North, we got JR with the Lions. And down south, as the kids like to say, south. I better hear from Golden Glover, who won the season 50 Super Bowl championship for Compete Forever. Let's go to the phone lines, bring them in right now. Caller, you're live on the air. This is esportsXTRA. Larry Ridley, Ivan Curtis, Renee Montgomery. Who we got? Who are we speaking to?
Hello.
Hello, who is this? Who?
Hey, this is James Piano right here. How's it
James
going?
Piano, man, you had a birthday party right now, right?
I'm on my way to it. It's actually, we're hosting it. It's at my house. It's for my niece, my wife's sister's kid. So I'm on my way to it.
All right, we're not going to keep you quickly, man. You've got the The Eagles, you played very well
No,
last
you're
year.
good. You're good.
You got who? You got the Eagles, right?
Yeah. I got the Eagles for this season. Pretty excited about them, actually. They got a really good squad.
How are you doing so far in season 51? Last year you played well, have one of the best records in the league, man. Went out early in the playoffs. Talk about the early exit in the playoffs, and how are you doing this year with the Eagles?
This one, last season I had the Seahawks. I remember that game pretty. I feel like I remember all the losses more than the wins, right? That's just my competitiveness is like the losses stick with me. So I remember just making I think I only threw 3 incompletions that game, but I threw 2 picks. So those are the ones that really altered the game. And I only lost by 3, so I feel like take away those picks and I'll probably win that game.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a new season now, so it's really good to kind of start fresh. And right now, I think I'm 4-1 or 5-1 right now with the Eagles. I'm really excited. I feel like I really do good in the regular season, but I've won the Super Bowl for this league before.
Yep.
I've only won one, but I feel like I could have won more. I always think that I do good in the regular season, but I just need to improve my play in the postseason whenever we go into the playoffs. So
good stuff, James Piano. And the words of Renee Montgomery. Hey, buddy, where's your confidence at? Where's your confidence level?
Oh goodness.
How's it going, Renee?
Oh, how you doing? I'm good. I like you need to sound a little more confident. You're sitting 4-1. You're at the top of the mountain. Okay. Stand up like you're at the top of the mountain.
I'm usually pretty confident. I don't think I lack confidence. The thing is I tend to overthink things sometimes. I think my head just kind of I feel like I just I think about trying to
don't question yourself. Don't question yourself.
Yeah, well, especially when I'm offense, I feel like I, tend to kind of not get aggressive, and I feel like I just don't want to show. I just feel like I don't want to show my best plays, but I'll just, make a full game. Just do what, you know what I mean? That's why I feel like I overthink it. I'm usually pretty confident because, even if I'm down, I always feel like I can come back regardless of who I'm playing.
Quickly, in 20 seconds or left, James, because I want to let you get out of here. I promise you I wouldn't keep you more than 2 or 3 minutes. What are the benefits of playing in the league since you've been around for a long time?
You play good competition. It's just always good to be playing with regular teams because you get to play different. I feel like the way that this league is ran, it feels a little bit like draft champions because each season you get a new team. And you have, players that aren't always going to be the same, so you have to figure out ways to kind of fit them to your scheme. And so that's just the kind of the beauty of Madden. I love playing Madden. Whether I'm playing in the MCS or I'm playing just in a league, I feel like I just love the game. So whatever it is, I just like playing for sure.
All right, James, get to that party safely, man. Brother, we really appreciate you, man. Thank you for the engagement, and good luck to you, man. We look forward to talking to you. All right?
Yeah, looking forward to the next time I'm on, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right,
Yes, sir.
JP,
Happy birthday
man.
to your niece.
Yeah,
Yes,
happy
sir.
birthday.
JP.
All right. Yeah.
Rocking with the Eagles.
Thank you.
All right, there. Be careful out there in Rain City, bro. Love Seattle out there in the Pacific Northwest. Renee, you're old stomping grounds too, right? Puget Sound, Seattle, right?
Yes, I love Seattle. I love Seattle.
What you know about the Puget Sound?
I know a little bit about 3 months of the Puget Sound.
All right.
That's all I had there. That's all I had.
You had a cup of coffee. You had a Starbucks cup of coffee out in Seattle. And
Right, at the original Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
you're still here. I love it.
James Piano, hang up
I'm
the
so
phone.
here.
Hang up, man. You got a party to get to.
It's my car thing. I gotta hang it up. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Coach K, hang him up. How about Coach K, hang him up? All right, good stuff,
He's
JP.
gonna stay all night.
All right, let's
we
go
got
back.
JR.
Yeah, let's get back to the phones. We got JR. Let's bring in JR. JR, of course, in the NFC North playing with the Lions. JR, you're live on Esports Extra. How's your season going, bro? Turn that radio down. Turn the computer down, bro. How's your season going?
is going great for me, man. I'm 7-1 right now.
Woo!
I'm just taking the Bulls by the horn, man, and just a little bit of consistency. You know what I mean? Running the ball. Took a little note from Joke's book. You know, just run it and just be consistent, man, and don't let the game frustrate you. I've been doing this way too long, man. A lot of broken controllers, a lot of stress. But you know how it is, man.
Dang.
But I've been doing this enough that I learned how to keep my composure. You know what I mean? And like Joke said, you just gotta stay in the game. Don't get frustrated because some of these plays, man, is like they don't have like they just throw it right at you and you drop these picks and then you go and you run the ball and you get a strip and then he picks it up after you just drop the pick. Stuff like that just drives you crazy. But you just gotta stay in the game. And I'm driving. I don't know how I'm doing so good, to be honest, but they actually click great with my team.
Nope.
Don't backtrack. Don't do that. We don't want to hear the beeping, buddy. You're not a garbage truck. Don't do
You're
that.
7. You can't be 7-1 and have no idea how you're getting there. Come on, you got there. You know what you're doing.
I mean, Ty Johnson is 91 speed. The defense, the whole secondary is great. They got Darius Slay. I mean,
That's my guy. Shouts to Darius Slay.
Yeah. He shuts the whole right side down for me, and I'm just running the ball with Ty Johnson. He's 91 speed, and honestly, I'm just making good reads. I try to minimize my mistakes, and that's it, man.
In the words of Renee Montgomery, hey buddy, how's your confidence?
I mean, I'm feeling. I'm not gonna lie. My flag's on 1,000 right now.
Hey, I like that. Keep that energy.
My flag's on 1,000. I like my chances. I mean, last season I had Pittsburgh. I had no speed in the backfield with Connor, but I feel like I got a fast enough running back to do what I need to do with my team. And there we go. We're just balling. Just keep an eye out for me. Might be a sleeper.
Ooh, we got you, JR. There's some more confidence right there. Okay. JR, man, we appreciate it, man. Thank you, dude. Hey, we know what it is, brother. You 7-1. Good job with paying attention in the Discord, and we encourage you guys to call in anytime. This is your league, and good luck, man. The rest of the season, man. We'll see you in the playoffs. We're heading that way.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys putting this together for us.
All day, baby. All day, every day, man. JR, man, rolling with the Lions, man, just on the air live on esportsXTRA. Let's go back to the phone lines. Take your phone calls. We're going to stay on until about 8:20, 8:25. Can't go too much longer. Renee costs too much money.
We got Golden Glover.
Golden Glover. I didn't hear from him in the Discord.
The champ is here.
I'm going to put Golden Glover. I'm
the champ?
going to get him a nice little draft compensation. Little draft penalty.
Give him your ring, Renee. Give him your ring.
Whoa.
We'll reimburse you.
Let's bring in Golden Glover. Golden Glover has won live events from us. You saw him live on ESPN2 with the Last Chance qualifier a couple of weeks ago. Won the season 50 championship. Golden Glover. Will Andrews, talk to me, bro. How you doing?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Good, bro, man. So tell us about your season so far, man. You're playing with the Panthers this year. First, let's rewind and go back to season 50. You took the freaking Bengals to the daggone Super Bowl and won the ship. How did you pull that crap off?
I told you they were good. They were my fifth-ranked team. Nobody believed me when I picked them high. I was getting mocked a little bit, but I only lost one game the whole regular season with them. They're super tough. John Ross and Geno Atkins.
Speed,
I like
man.
that.
You're right.
I like that.
Speed
Speed kills. They say speed kills.
So how are you doing with the Panthers? How many games have you played, and what do you think the slate looks like, and stacking up and sizing up the NFC side right now for us?
I only played 4. I got 2 out of the way today, but I played some of my harder games on the schedule already. I played BKP. He's pretty good. I beat him twice, and then I beat the Niners today, and that's probably the best team in regs. So we're 4-0.
So you just knocked down.
I'm trying to go undefeated.
So you just knocked down the top dog today. You feeling good, huh?
I'm feeling great.
Okay.
Ask him the stock question. What is the esportsXTRA Renee Montgomery question of the day for Madden players? Tell him, Renee.
Bro, how's your confidence? Where's your confidence?
Through the roof. Through the roof.
Through the roof.
There you go.
Hey, he's a good
That's what
player,
we
man.
need. Get the competitive juices flowing out here.
I keep telling people, man, Golden Glover, y'all better not sleep on Will Andrews, man. He knows what he's doing. I've seen him
He
do
did
his
say
thing.
that.
Yeah, did his thing in Atlanta.
Yep.
Okay.
Dude, I was so pissed though, Will, that you lost those 2 damn games in LCQ.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you,
I was
man.
so mad. I played so bad those 2 games.
Yeah, you did.
I'm ready for next year. I'm gonna make some noise.
You had a nice chair though. You had a nice chair.
I saw that. I saw the. I got my Technisport chair right here. You know, shout out to Technisport right there. I saw
High
yours. You
Tech
got the green
Sport.
one.
High Tech Sport.
Technisport. Shout out to Technisport. Free chair. They ship it straight to you. Just give them that Larry Ridley code. They'll hook you up. Will, you love your chair still, man? It looked good. It looked good on TV with that dark green, with the green and the black. That was sweet.
I do. Yeah, I like the dark green.
Yeah.
Or actually, I never got the second one when I won the 2 down in Atlanta last summer, and the second one never came.
Oh, we got to work on that, bro.
They might have deferred it like the A's. They done deferred the chair like the A's.
Gotta talk.
Hey, I might have something for you. We got some other partners coming on board. I might get
Yes,
you,
sir.
like some Dell stuff or something like that. Maybe a laptop, or not a laptop. Maybe a keyboard or a mouse or something like that. I'll get you something to replace it. All right, brother?
Okay,
So
cool.
for your setup.
All right. Golden Glover, man, keep it up, man. Great job, man. You're one of the top Madden players, man. We thank you for being in our league, and we'll talk to you down the road, brother. Rocking with the Panthers this season. Good stuff, Andrews.
Thank
Will.
you.
All right, brother. Will Andrews, a.k.a. Golden Glover, undefeated, going to be a beast. Man, he's a wagon going downhill trying to stop him. So good luck to everybody trying to knock off Will Andrews.
7-1.
No, he's undefeated.
Oh, he just beat the team that. Oh,
JR was 7-1, but he beat.
Okay.
He's got the Panthers, who are not they're average in Madden at best, but he just beat like the 49ers and a couple other really good teams with the freaking Panthers. So he's like, you know what? If I can knock them off with the Panthers, I'm going undefeated.
I feel like people are waking up. The juices are starting to flow here.
Yep. Let's go back to the phone lines and bring in Indefinite Champ playing with. Is he playing with the Rams this year? I believe.
Yeah, he's not quite on yet.
He's not quite on yet.
Not gonna.
Can you say draft penalty?
I think he's dialing in right now. Actually, aren't you?
How you know?
I was just giving him time. I was just talking to give him some time.
I thought you
Stalling.
didn't know. I'm like,
Stalling.
Does Renee know something we don't
He
know?
said, "How you know?" He said that real quick.
She was being protective of the penalty.
Yeah.
Her motherly instinct.
Don't get soft.
Yeah,
Don't get soft.
I just didn't want the guy to get a penalty.
Don't
If he's
get
coming,
soft.
we got. You know, he got a couple of minutes. How was y'all's day?
Well, Renee's got to go at 8:20. That's what I was told. Renee's like in her contract that says anything more than an hour and 20 minutes. Anything more than an hour.
Minutes.
I was told an hour 15 minutes, but she said max hour 20. It's gonna cost you. And we can't afford you, Renee.
That's why I said we got till 25. You know,
We're gonna get a call from your agent.
Billable hours. Here
Excuse
you go, Larry.
the GoFundMe. How's that GoFundMe looking?
Before we got 6 minutes here. If we don't hear from Indefinite Champ, he's going to be the first one to suffer.
I got 2K
2K
League action.
Absolutely. That's what we're going to talk about. 2K League. Break it down for us. The one and only Ivan OG Curtis.
Last night was interesting. One of the highest games to watch last night was Hornets Venom GT against the Mavs. Mavs GG was undefeated. Hornets Venom GT knocked them off in the series 2-1. Snubby led the way, averaging 24 points in that series. T-Wolves Gaming played Pistons GT. They defeated them 2-0. Bear the Beast still playing like the finals MVP that he was last season. 35 points per game, 5 assists, 2 steals. They still looking like one of the teams to beat. Gen G put it on 76ers GC last night. Philly is struggling.
Struggling. In the words of the great, who's that? Broadway Joe, right? Yeah, Joe.
It's like real life or something.
Struggling.
Yeah. Shifty Kai, one of the top rookies. He averaged 40 and a half points per game, 8.5 assists during that series. So definitely he's been playing great. Gen G has been real competitive. This is their first season in the league, one of the only non North American teams in the league. So
The only one, yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So it was a great action last night. Tonight's game, Raptors Uprising is undefeated. They're playing Hawks Talon right now. Hawks Talon is 3-1. That should be a pretty good game to watch. Grizz Gaming is playing Heat Check tonight. Both of those teams are looking for a win. So that's going to be an interesting series.
Someone's gotta go.
Jazz Gaming is opening up tonight against Magic Gaming. This is the Jazz first game of the season. And Cavs Legion is playing Rico and Celtics Gaming tonight.
Rico Hennessy rhymes with Hennessy.
Wait a minute, new sponsor alert.
So as it stands right now, Warriors Gaming and Raptors Gaming is the only undefeated teams in the league at 5-0. Tomorrow night's game, Grizz Gaming against Kings Guard, Heat Check Gaming against Jazz Gaming, and Celtics Crossover Gaming versus Knicks Gaming. And to round it off, I believe which is the game of the week, is Hornets Venom GT versus Wizards District Gaming. That should be a pretty good one.
OG,
So,
we open up next Friday.
so is it official?
Yeah.
You didn't say that confidently.
Bro,
You sound like one of the Madden players, man.
Hey,
Where's your confidence at, man?
My hands are not on the sticks. I mean, I'm confident in my guys. I mean, we training and practicing and getting ready. It's been a long time coming. So definitely, I'm ready for it. I'm more of those, on the night of the game, I'm pretty much amped up. When it's sitting a week out, it's still
same.
It's kind of tough to get the juices flowing, but we'll be ready. And we finished 7-9 last year. Had a shot make the playoffs in the last 2 weeks. Fumbled the ball, and it was a tough pill to swallow. But I think we looking to bounce back and put Brooklyn on the map.
Coach K?
Yeah, OG, I just got a quick question. I remember at the beginning you spoke about Gen G gaming. Now, how does that exactly work, them not being in North America? Like, obviously now they're, online playing, but if it was regular, like, would they be here? Like, how does that work?
No, they're based in California.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Gen G is Shanghai. It's based in Shanghai, but the actual 2K League team is based in California.
Oh, see,
that's what's up.
That's fugazi a little bit, though. I mean, you gotta deal with the travel if you want to be international. That's part of it. That's why these pro leagues, they don't really have international.
You gotta be like the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
You want somebody traveling back and forth from
Shanghai?
No, sir.
I was wondering that.
On a whole different time zone. No, sir. They need to be right where they are in Cali.
They gotta take the Virgin Galactic. I was curious about that.
Hey guys, it's been another great show, man. Really appreciate
Oh no, he didn't call.
Hey, draft penalty, man.
Oh my goodness.
It is what it is, man. We communicate in the Discord. We don't text. We don't call you. We don't email you. It's in the Discord. If you don't pick up, you're gonna get a draft penalty.
Talk to him later in the Discord, Renee. Talk to him later in the Discord.
Renee, you got to tell him where's your confidence and where are the phone calls.
I tried, man.
Hey,
I tried.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Where's your confidence?
I'm gonna change your name in the Discord to Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Oh goodness. Goodness. I tried.
I'm gonna go to Walmart tomorrow and everybody will see. Hey, cheer up. Where's your confidence? Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, put your mask on.
I was trying to boost them up, but listen, man, you gotta want to work back with me. Work with me here.
All right. We'll work with you, not against you.
Hey, buddy, 6 feet. Hey, buddy, 6 feet. Yeah.
All right, good stuff, guys. It's been another great show. For Kevin Mamuzet, pushing all of the right buttons back there. Brooklyn Nets gaming crew, NBA 2K League head coach and GM of the Nets. He is Ivan Curtis, and of course, two-time. Put them up, fellas, boys, gals. 2 times in the house. 2 times. 2 times in the house. Yes. It's been a great show, guys. Thank you all. We'll see you again Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got to drive. I got to get out here and travel to Nashville. So I need to
Safe
this
travels.
afternoon. Yeah, so I'll see you guys Sunday. We'll be in contact. And guys, it's been another great show. Thanks for everybody watching. Have a safe night. So long from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. They call it the Tri-State. We'll have a good one, and we'll see you on Sunday.